Hello again, my name's Gabe Zolna. I read an interesting article on Western journalism, and I wanted to talk about it for a couple of reasons. If you're a viewer of mine, you will recall that I've made a number of videos, and I talked about marijuana, where I think it's a gateway drug. And I'm going to attach a link to this. You're not going to have to look for it. The title is "Shocking. These Images Will Make Sure You Never Ever Use Meth." Well, I think that title's a little bit strong. I think it might be better off if it would have said, "Shocking, these images should make sure you never ever use meth." They show you 22 different photographs. They're before and after shots of various people that have become addicted to meth. And it shows you the devastation and the destruction to their body, never mind their minds. And that's why I guess they titled it what they did. Now, what I want to do is I want to highlight some of the comments that people made. And again, if you click on the link, you'll be able to read them all. I wrote, "I have a question. How many people that are addicted to meth started with using meth versus started smoking marijuana first?" I made a number of videos on YouTube on what I believe, which is that marijuana is a gateway drug. And I was somewhat surprised with many comments that I received that said that I was wrong and that marijuana is not a gateway drug. With all the various polls that are taken, it might prove interesting if meth users were asked what got them started in doing meth. Any bets that the majority will tell you that marijuana was their gateway into the world of other drugs, meth being just one of them? I expect a similar reaction to this posting as I received from some of my videos on the marijuana topic. I have no doubt that many Americans in both Colorado and Washington will become known as a drug state as many of their citizens transition from using marijuana to harder drugs, meth just being one of them. Heroin is reaching epidemic stages in many major cities around the country, and our government is doing nothing other than encouraging the use of drugs like marijuana in a number of states across the country. Now, what's interesting is if you read some of the comments, again, they attack me and they think that I'm totally clueless. One in particular that goes by the name of Art, and he appears to be rather well educated from what he highlights about himself. And I'm just looking for the article and I want to read it to you. He says, "Sorry losers, I'd say you couldn't be more wrong, but I'd probably be wrong. Your failure to properly analyze my comments, coupled with your complete failure to properly apply logic, reveals that either you lack a formal education or, as is common, it was wasted on you. FYI, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't use drugs. I did quote-unquote experiment with pot a few times over 30 years ago. I don't even drink caffeinated beverages. I will be taking my boards in about 8 months to receive my master's in psychology, to be rapidly followed by my qualifying for a PhD. This will be my 5th formal college degree. I started at age 14 and will be 55 this year. I will therefore stand firm on my opinion and my statement on this subject. In other words, GTAFFARD. Now, although some of the folks that commented disagree with me, there's one that I want to read to you. And it's not so much that he agreed with me, but what he wrote I thought was incredibly well written. And he starts off, he goes by the handle of Afinkster, AFINKSTER, and he starts off by saying, "Gabe, you're right on with pot being a gateway drug. Some of the pot smokers don't believe the comprehension to see. Otherwise, because of their continual recreational pot smoking deteriorates the brain's function without them ever realizing it. These weed-smoking loons commenting on here haven't moved onto harder drugs yet, and many never will. So to them, Mary Jane is not a gateway drug. but to millions that use cocaine, juice, meth, acid, LSD, and all kinds of hard drugs have progressed from marijuana, making it the gateway drug for them. Thus, they will swear till their last puff on a joint that it is not a gateway drug, just their quote-unquote drug of choice. I'm sure we can find some cokeheads that swear that cocaine is not a gateway drug to meth when they have switched because they can't find some coke, or it may be a cheaper addictive drug. You and I can see the common sense what these pot-smoking ditwits cannot see. All mind-altering substances, including alcohol, can be the gateway to all other mind-altering substances. However, while these delusional pot smokers commenting here may not just use other mind-altering drugs, marijuana still is a major gateway drug for many. Wow. You might want to read that again. And it isn't that he agrees with me. It's that he clearly explains why art might very well be wrong, which is what I think he is. Again, there's a number of other comments that you might want to take a look at. I don't want to go read them all. I'd like you to go look at the article and decide for yourself. Let me know what you think. I told you what I think. I also told you what one of my viewers, actually he's not a viewer of mine, he's a viewer of Western journalism, but he took the time to comment. I hope you take the time to read all the comments. I think you'll find it interesting. I did.